All right, guys, so now that I've shown you the flexi rod look, let's talk about perm rod look. So we kind of touched base on it a little bit, but I'm going to go a little deeper. So when we think about perm rods, we instantly think about a perm and how we wrap a perm. And with within the curly girl community, us girls are not necessarily looking for that permed look. So we don't want a big fro or jerry curled look. So what we are looking for is still the elongated curl, but using the perm rods. So you won't get as much elongation with a perm rod because it's short, especially if you are using it on someone who has really long hair. I would honestly suggest not to using it on someone with hair that is longer than this mannequin's hair, simply because number one, it's going to take forever to dry, and number two, they will not get the look that they're desiring. So as you can see, I still rolled the perm rod the same exact way that I rolled the flexi rod. So I started at the end of the perm rod this time, and I spiraled my way up. So the perm rod is not sitting directly on base. It is at a diagonal because I spiraled it up the perm rod. So this will create a little bit of elongation, but again, not as much as elongation as the flexi rods. Perm rods, someone who gets a perm rod set is typically wanting to stretch out their natural curl pattern, get a looser or bigger curl. They typically have medium to shorter lengths of hair. And yes, this style can actually be worn for a couple of weeks, and you'll hear your clients say that they love it after maybe the first couple of days have gone by. They'll say the older the style gets, the better it looks. That's something that you'll hear them say. When it's fresh, most of the time, the curly girl community doesn't necessarily like it, but they know what it will look like after the curls have dropped or fallen a little bit. So that's why they keep doing it. I also get this done on my hair, and I have about 4 inches of hair on top and 2 inches of hair in the back and the sides. So again, this just helps to reinforce the curls that I already have. It also helps define the hair that is straight on some ends, because I straighten my hair a lot. So if you have that client who straightens their hair a lot and they're now wanting to wear their hair curly, but they have those straight ends, the perm rods will give them that temporary look and also help to reinforce that curl back into their hair. So again, you see here, I still started somewhere toward the middle, and I am rotating the perm rod up the hair. Now here's me showing you how we would typically do it as a regular perm. You see the hair is all wound on top of one another, and that look will give you more of a tighter curl look. Again, you need to make sure that the hair is 100% dry before you take it off of these rods. If you don't, the hair will become frizzy. The curl that you're trying to create will not last. It will not be formed. It will revert back to its natural curl pattern, and your client will essentially be unhappy. So always make sure that you are drying these rods 100%. The drying time can typically take anywhere from 45 minutes to about an hour and a half, depending on the texture and the density of your client's hair. Someone with fine hair may take roughly between 45 minutes. I would give it 45 minutes to an hour. Also, depending on the length of hair, because if you wound someone's hair around this rod who has fine hair, but their hair is long, that 45 minutes can easily turn into an hour. So you want to make sure that you are not only timing it, but making sure you're checking the rods throughout the process to make sure they're getting dry. This is not something I would send my clients home with rods in their hair. Um, so making sure that you have enough time and making sure that they are dry is very important. So here's me showing you the difference between the length with the flexi rods and the height